Hi everyone, I am Dr. Soumya, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Here the subject is Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. Unit 5 is the neural network. Here we are going to see the topic about perceptron. Objective to understand about the concept of perceptron. Perceptron in machine learning. Perceptron is the machine learning algorithm for supervised learning of various binary classification tasks. Further, perceptron is also understood as an artificial neuron or neural network unit that helps to detect the certain input data computations in business intelligence. Perceptron model is also treated as one of the best and simplest type of artificial neural network. However, it is supervised learning algorithm of binary classifier. Hence, we can consider it as a single layer neural network with four main parameters. They are input values, weight and bias, net sum and activation function. The four basic components are given. So the four basic components are input, weight, net input function and activation function and output. Input nodes are input layer. This is the primary component of perceptron which accepts the initial data into the system for further processing. Each input node contains a real numerical value. Weight and bias. Weight parameter represents the strength of the connections between units. This is the another most important parameter of perceptron components. Weight is directly proportional to the strength of associated input neurons in deciding the output. Further, bias can be considered as the line of intercept in the linear equation. Activation function. These are the final and important components that help to determine whether the neuron will fire or not. Activation function can be considered primarily as the step function. Types of activation function: sine function, step function and sigmoid function. The data scientist uses the activation function to take a subjective decision based on various problem statements and forms the desired output. Activation function may differ in perceptron model by checking whether the learning process is slow or has vanishing or exploding gradients. How does perceptron work? In machine learning, perceptron is considered as a single layer neural network that consists of four main parameters named input values, weight and bias, net sum and activation function. The perceptron model begins with the multiplication of all input values and their weights, then adds these values together to create the weighted sum. Then this weighted sum is applied to the activation function f to obtain the desired output. This activation function is also known as step function and is represented by f. This step function or activation function plays a vital role in ensuring that output is mapped between required value 0, 1 or minus 1, 1. It is important to note that the weight of input is initiative of the strength of node. Similarly, an input bias value gives the ability to shift the activation function curve up or down. Perceptron model works in two important steps. Step 1. In the first step, first multiply all the input values with the corresponding weight value and then add them to determine the weighted sum. Mathematically, we can calculate the weighted sum as follows. Summation of wi into xi equal to x1 into w1 plus x2 into w2 up to xn into wn. Add the special term called bias b to this weighted sum to improve the model's performance. That is summation of wi into xi plus b. Step 2. In the second step, the activation function is applied with the above mentioned weighted sum, which gives us output either in binary form or continuous value as follows. That is y equal to f function of summation wi into xi plus b. Types of perceptron model. There are two types: single layer perceptron and multi-layer perceptron model. Thank you.